Moving on to the Pacers. Bob's got a piece out today in the Athletic that you need to take a look at. The Pacers. Bob suggested, well, a lot of us had thought that they would be throwing in the towel so they could have a high draft pick without having the superstars, but they have conveniently said no tanks, Bob. No tanks. No tanks.
Tanks a lot. I mean, yeah, I said I came for a tankathon and ended up watching a revelatory season. I mean, they're 10-6. Now they got a couple of home games coming up here this week, and then they go on the road for I think 7 games on the West Coast, 6 or 7 games, and it's all the best teams out west, and that's going to be brutal. And I do think water will find its level, but hell, if they could just stay around 500, that would be one incredible, success story for the Indiana Pacers. I thought they would be a 22 to 25 win team. I thought they would be a hot mess, and they have been extraordinary. I mean, they are, I think, 3rd in the league in 3-point percentage. They're 5th in the league in scoring. I mean, they've gone from a bad, boring, uninspired team to one of the most exciting young teams in the league. They've got 8 guys in their rotation who are 23 or younger.
I say this every week, multiple times. They're so fun to watch. And the thing that stood out to me, now Houston is obviously not a good team, but for them to score 10 points in the first quarter, and for as young as they are, I thought when I was watching that game, I thought this is gonna be a 40-point loss. Right. They just don't have it tonight. They're going to throw it in, and that happens over the course of an 82-game season. For them to bounce back and to win, not only be competitive but win that game, that showed me a lot about the resiliency. The one thing I think I agree with you on, Bob, is water finding its level, and maybe not so much in terms of the talent, but this is a team that they have not played an 82-game schedule together, and it's going to be very new for a lot of these players. So I think there's going to be some leveling off at some point because an 82-game schedule is quite a grind. It's right. Easy in the first 25, 30 games, but when you start putting stuff on tape, when people know who to defend, what your habits are, and then just the course of an 82-game season, I think that's where you'll start to see maybe the Pacers do a little bit of a drop-off.
Right. Well, you talked about resilience. Chris Teneri gave me this stat the other day because Chris keeps track of everything. And he said last year they won 5 games after having been down by 10 points or more. Okay, they were like 5-46 or something like that. This year already, they have won 6 games.
Wow.
When they've trailed by 10 or more during the course of a game. So This is a team that is very resilient, that's tough-minded, and they get down and it doesn't seem to faze them. So I think that's a really, really cool stat.
Yeah, they take on Minnesota Timberwolves next, Karl Anthony Towns in that group. Then they welcome the Brooklyn Nets, and that's a big game on Friday. And then, like you said, a 7-game road swing that takes them across the western part of the United States. I mean, it's that is a tough schedule. Yeah. You go to the Clippers, then the Lakers, then the Kings, then the Jazz, then to Portland, then back to the Warriors, and then to the Timberwolves before coming back home December 9th.
December 9th, exactly. So, I mean, look, if you can go 3-4 somehow on that trip, you take it, you walk, and you say, thank you very much. That's going to be it. I mean, it's funny, the worst teams in that group are probably the Lakers and the Warriors at this
exactly.
I mean, Utah's playing great. Minnesota, I don't know about Minnesota, but Utah's playing great. Sacramento, talk about a trade that helped both teams. Halliburton for Sabonis. They're like 9-6 or 10-6, something like that. They're playing really well. So it's going to be a real challenging trip out west for sure.